Hello, this is the notes for February 8th. So we're starting to think about factoring trinomials. And we did some diamond problems today. So if you remember the diamond problems, for each of these diamonds, the two factors are your side ones. So 3 times 5 gives me 15, and 3 plus 5 gives me 8. 2 plus 4 gives me 6. 2 times 4 gives me 8. 1 times 10 gives me 10. 1 plus 10 gives me 11. And then for the negative, negative 5 plus 7 would be 2. Negative 5 times 7 is negative 35. So we're going to use that as our tool to fill in the blanks for the rest of our diamonds. So 4 times 6 is 24. 4 plus 6 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. 7 times negative 8 is negative 1. Oh, sorry. 7 times 8 is negative 56. 7 minus 8 is negative 1. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21. Negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. Next row, 10 times 11 is 110. 10 plus 11 is 21. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. 3 minus 1 would be 2. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 plus 6 is 15. Negative 6 times negative 4. Negative times negative is positive. 6 times 4 is 24. Negative 6 minus 4. You owe me $6. You borrow $4 more. Now you owe me $10. So this really requires you to be pretty up on your multiplication tables. So if you want to, you might want to go review your multiplication tables up through, say, 12 times 12. That'll help you out a lot when you're factoring. All right, so for our next set of diamonds, we know how much it adds up to. We have one of the factors, we got to find the other factor and then multiply it. So what plus 7 would give me 10? That'll be 7 plus 3 gives me 10. 7 times 3 is 21. What plus 9 gives me 13? That'll be 4. 9 times 4 would be 36. 7 plus what will give you negative 2? I want to go down, so it's going to be minus 5. And then 7 times negative 5 would be negative 35. Negative 6 plus what gives me negative 4? That would be 2. Negative 6 times 2 would be negative 12. Over here, 5 plus 12 would be 17. 5 times 12 is 60. 10 plus 11 would be 21. 10 times 11 is 110. What minus 6 would give me negative 9? So I'm at negative 6, I need to get down to negative 9, so I'm going to subtract off 3 more. Negative 3 times negative 6, negative times negative is positive. 6 times 3 is 18. And then 7 plus 9 is 16. 9 times 7 is 63. On the back side, I've got what we're multiplying to, and one of the factors, I'm going to come up with the other factor and then add them together to come up with the bottom box. So 5 times 4 would be 20. 5 plus 4 would be 9. What times negative 6 gives me negative 18? That would be 3. And then negative 6 plus 3 would be negative 3. 7 times 4 would be 28. 7 plus 4 is 11. Negative 1 times 7 would be negative 7. So I need another negative. So negative times negative is positive. 1 times 7 is 7. And then negative 1 minus 7, that would be negative 8. Again, you owe me $1, you can borrow $7 more. Now you owe me $8. For 81, I know it's 9 times 9 would be 81, but I have one negative. I need to make the other one negative in order to get to positive. And then negative 9 minus 9 would be negative 18. 10 times 4 would be 40. 10 plus 4 is 14. We've got 11, so negative 44 divided by 11 would be negative 4. 11 minus 4 would be 7. And then 24 divided by negative 2 would be 12. They have to be negative. So negative times negative is positive. 12 times 2 is 24. Negative 12 minus 2, that's negative 14. Remember, you owe me $12. You can borrow 2 more. Now you owe me 14. All right, next set of boxes, they give us what they multiply to, what they add to. You've got to find the two factors. So if I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to 14, add to 9, my factors are 14 are 1 and 14, or 2 and 7. This adds to 15, this one adds to 9, so 2 and 7. For 25, again, we're either 1 times 25 or 5 times 5. 5 plus 5 is the one that'll get me to 10. I'm going to skip this negative one for just a second. We're going to go over here. Two numbers that multiply to 72 add up to 70 or add up to 17. So I've got 1 times 72. I have 2 times, what is that, 36. 3 times 24. 4, does 4 go in there? Yeah, 4 goes into 72 18 times. 5 does not go into 72. 6 goes into 72 12 times. 7 doesn't go into 72. 8 times 9 is 72. And then I've got 9 times 8, that I've already got that one here. So any going further, I have all of my factors. As soon as you find the one that repeats, then that's when you stop. So you want to look at all of these factors and look at them, see which two would add up to 17. It's going to be 8 plus 9 down here. So that's an example of one that maybe you didn't know 8 times 9 was 72, but you could work your way to it. All right, factors for 12. I'll do a different color for this row. Would be 1 and 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. The next factor would be 4 times 3, but we've already got that one, so I don't need to rewrite it. So which two factors multiply to 12 add up to 7? That'd be 3 and 4. Next one, which two multiply to 12 add up to 8? That'd be 2 and 6. 2 plus 6 is 8. Finally, which two multiply to 12 add up to 13? That'd be 1 and 12. And then, when you've got this negative sign here, that means one of these guys has to be negative, one has to be positive. So in order to have a negative number when you multiply, you gotta have a negative times a positive to get that negative. So what we have is a subtraction problem, and I'm gonna look at my factors, and now I'm looking for which two numbers when I subtract them will give me positive 1. So if I subtract 12 and 1, I'd have 11. That's not going to be it. If I subtract 6 and 2, I would have 4 or negative 4. Again, that's not going to be it. If I have 3 and 4, I either have 1 or negative 1. In order to get the positive 1, I need 3 to be negative. So if I want my number to be positive, my bigger number needs to be positive. So negative 3 plus 4. So let's check it out. Negative 3 times 4, yep, that's negative 12. 4 minus 3 would be 1. So these guys that are negative, they're a little bit more challenging. They're going to make you think a little bit more. All right, let's go back and do this negative 8 one. So I've got 1 times 8, 2 times 4. 3 doesn't go in there. The next one will be 4 times 2. So we know 1 needs to be negative, 1 needs to be positive. The difference between 1 and 8 is 7. I need it to be 2, so it's going to be 2 and 4. If I need it to be negative 2, I need the 4 to be negative and the 2 to be positive, because negative 4 plus 2 would be negative 2. All right, last two rows. Factors of 16 are 1 and 16, 2 and 8,